Yeah, and so we're going to talk about real quick some of the Yelp's new products for agency in 2019. Business highlights. One of the best things about business highlights is that, you know, it's right there on search. It's available. You're able to choose some ways to highlight your business in the best way possible. There's 2 that are available on search, and then there's 4 more that are available on your profile. Just to throw out some cool Yelp acronym. I heard this the first time from Jessica. She was just like, oh yeah, for our RFN segment, you can only have certain ones versus non. And I blew my mind. I was like, what's that? So please, can you explain that?
Restaurant, food, and nightlife. Yeah. Getting up to speed on acronyms, my friend.
The Yelp acronyms are always amazing. So it's good. Yeah. And so this is an example of how some of the business highlights work. You know, 2 badges are shown, and then there's over 30 different combinations that you can create. And then verified license. This is a really big one to help people in the decision-making process, because this little blue shield is available on search, as well as you can see the business's licensed information. Can you touch on this real quick, Jessica?
Yeah, so the idea behind this, you know, especially in a category like home services, and you always talk about this, Ralph, like if you're a consumer and you're looking to invite someone in your home, you want to make sure that to the best of your ability that you can really trust them. And you kind of build that relationship, that trust, before even making that initial phone call, requesting that initial quote. So we rolled out with this verified license feature. So the business does have to submit their license. It goes through a verification process. And then when that's confirmed by operations on Yelp's team, then we can put that badge on their page. So it does work to, again, promote trust of the consumer, but we also found that businesses that utilize this feature actually get a 24% increase in customer leads over listings that aren't utilizing it. And again, that's just reverting back to the fact that that consumer probably trusts that business more than their competitors that don't have it.
Yeah, and another way that I kind of explain this is it's kind of like having Amazon Prime on your Yelp listing, right?
Yep.
So it's great. Negative keyword targeting is something that we're actually able to use through a pilot program. Yelp's trying to figure out how to make this work the best way that they can for the business owner, because sometimes you don't, as a plumber, you don't want your ads to go towards gas line installation or handyman or some of these other things. You want to focus really your ad spend on what it is that you want to make happen. So for us, you know, and this is just at the end of it, but, you know, I served in the Navy from 99 to 10. And the benefit is that, you know, I come at this with a very analytical, pragmatic thought process. And one of the reasons why Jessica and I work so well together is from her reporting days, which I just found out probably about a month ago that that's what she did in college. You know, but from just wanting to get down to what really was impactful for businesses, that's why her and I work so well. And I'm constantly like, hey, you know, that email wasn't like for anything. And she's like, no, you're fine. Like, really, let's do this. Game on. So it's always good. So I also come at this from like a real business owner standpoint as a franchisee, where we actually started a business in 2010, OxyFresh of Modesto. And when I was done, we actually had 3 times the amount of Yelp reviews as the counterpart providers in the area. And again, you know, this is just by following Yelp rules. And one of the reasons why I was, you know, asked to join the partner program when I became a consultant, showing people how to really maximize profiles. So real quick, Jessica, let's get into this real fast. Now, as I said, we want to kind of focus and we kind of want to touch on what true Yelp searches were looking like. So February of 2020, we were actually invited, Carrasco Consulting, to join Matt Anderson at a roofing summit. And he is a ICO supplier. And so he said, hey, why don't you just come out, talk to these roofers, tell them what's up, you know, let them really see what's going on. So one of the things that we're able to do is pull actual search results. And so what you're seeing here on this screen And this is what we gave out to the roofers. This is something that Jessica was able to pull with sales planning team. And this is what is normally available at the enterprise level for people to get data. So through the self-serve model, we're actually able to see what it is you want to sign up for, how that looks and everything else. Jessica will touch on this in a minute, but can you explain the effectiveness of this, Jessica, showing that like in November of 18 for roofers in the San Francisco Bay Area, and again, I apologize if I didn't say that, but it says it here, San Francisco and San Jose Bay Area, in November of 18, if you notice, there was 31,899 searches, and for roofers, or I'm sorry, solar installations, it was 12,072 searches. And if we look at those numbers in November of 19, they're considerably higher. So anybody that says that Yelp is not effective, that's just not true. And then if you really want to look at this, September of 19, look at these numbers right here. So Jessica, can you touch on this real quick for us, for all the roofers out there?
Make sure my screen might be frozen. I apologize. I am still seeing the Yelp experts page, but I'm assuming we are past that.
Okay, so
I just want to make sure our myself and the viewers
no, we're good. So let me
all on the same page.
This one right here. Do you see it now?
Perfect. All right, there we go.
Excellent. So again, as I was touching on, in the San Francisco, San Jose area, our summer is not, June, July, August. It's actually September, October, November. So that's why the September numbers make sense to me. But Jessica, you pulled this data for us. Can you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, so I mean, just reverting back to the why, when we touched on, one of the things before even signing up a client for advertising or even talking to them about ads, we want to make sure that there's demand in their market for what they do. So we're running things called inventory reports, and what we're looking at, typically we look at the last 30 days, but in this case, we're getting an annualized year-over-year overview. So what you're seeing is just the declines and increases, as Ralph alluded to, in these respective months where search demand is higher. So there is a spike we see in September of 2019 for roofing, for example, and where search demand is a little lower.
Yeah, no, perfect. And so, again, the focus of this section is to really show like Yelp is effective. People are actually, using this. And so even though these numbers are for the San Francisco, San Jose area, Jessica, where is the highest concentration of Yelp users?
It's going to be in California, probably San Fran or LA. We always referred to California as the Yelpiest state in the US. So all the local sales reps, if they get a California territory, they're always very, very excited. Remember when I got San Diego, changed my life forever. So pretty much exactly what you would expect. SF, San Diego's a big one, LA, and so on.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm getting this up, and I should have had this up already. I am going to go down and I am going to pull a roofer who has some pretty good reviews or whatever, and they may or may not be advertising. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to show people what we're able to do with our Yelp ad planner. And so from that being said is that we're able to, like I said, utilize the Yelp platform just like a Yelp employee utilizing their insights. So then that way we can make sure that they're effective in what they're doing, because we want to make sure that they're getting the most bang out of their buck. So Jessica, I have authorization to kind of show this and what it looks like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So
it's your dashboard. It's your rules.
Do what I want with it, right? So from this point, we pulled up a roofer in the area of the San Francisco Bay Area, and they do gutter services, roofing, and siding. And so as you can see here, there's 155,000 ad opportunities. There's going to be a range for the click-through rate. And then here is like the max fulfillable budget for the area for right now. So again, this is 30 days. The numbers are a lot lower due to the fact that the demand is down because the economy is as a halt and at a standstill. So Jessica, is there, from seeing this, and you can see the screen, correct?
Correct.
So from seeing this, is there anything about this that somebody could say that Yelp isn't transparent, or that Yelp isn't able, or that you know, I hear it all the time and I get so frustrated when people are like, oh, Yelp sucks because they like charge my card like an exorbitant amount of money. I didn't even ask for this and they just did it. Like, can you explain a little bit more about that as we wrap up?
Sure, yeah. So in terms of structure for our programs, I mean, our core product is our pay-per-click advertising. So that functions, you know, in the same way that really all the digital platforms are functioning, you know, Google, Facebook, etc. So what businesses are doing, or what agencies are doing on behalf of their clients, is they're choosing a monthly budget that makes sense for that business, whether it's $500 a month, whether it's $5,000 a month, you know, anywhere in between, right? So you look at that as your monthly cap. You're saying, okay, in the month of February, I'm comfortable with spending 500, no more than 500. So the only, we'll call it variable factor to consider, as you mentioned, is the average cost per click price. So that CPC, that click price, that's what you can expect to pay per click. So you know then if your budget is $100 a month, let's say, just to make it easy math, and your click price, let's say you are a criminal defense attorney, and let's say your click price is $10. So you know then, okay, if I fulfill my budget, again, $100 budget, my cost per click is $10, then I can expect to get about 10 ad clicks a month. Easy math,
Easy.
You know? So really just you're choosing your budget and you're looking at your click price, and then from there you can really easily determine how many clicks you're gonna get. But when you set that monthly budget, you will never, ever, ever pay more than the monthly budget that you set for yourself on Yelp.
Plus to include the enhancements that you've chosen, right? Like if there is a fee for the enhanced profile, there is a fee for business highlights, there is a fee for license verification.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because you click those and then you see the total budget, well, that's going to be added onto your bill as well. So again, we're just doing our best to bring transparency to the platform and showing people that everything that you're doing is by your choice. And the reason that I focus on the profile first is because if your budget is a couple $100, and like Jessica said, if your click is costing you $10 a month, and just for pure context, that is not the price for criminal defense attorneys. Nothing that we are saying here is
hypothetical examples.
Hypothetical examples. We don't want to be saying, well, Jessica said this. No, I will come and no. Jessica's my big guns, but I will destroy anybody. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, you don't get to play that way, right? Real facts. That's what we want to do. And so if you're spending $10 a click, right? And it doesn't matter because that puts you above the fold for all of the organic stuff. So then that way you can be a sponsored result, front of the fold. Obviously, we're going to put you in first because most people aren't going to go down the list to the list to the list to option 75, right? They're going to look for the top, generally top 10. And that's why Yelp offers 10 different, you know, ad setting. And then that helps offset the pricing for everyone to keep the price low instead of just like shooting through the roof. So again, the focus is if someone's going to spend $10, and if you're going to spend $10 to have somebody look at your profile, well, that's what they're going to go off of. They're not going to call you just because you're the ad. Yes, there might be some people, and your star count and your review count and all of that comes into play. But for our standpoint and looking how a consumer makes a decision, that's why your profile has to be so strong. Otherwise, you just wasted $10 for nothing. And if you want to do that, hey, I can let you know where to send it. If you just want to blanket, like send out some checks, Jessica hasn't, you know.
I would say go to Starbucks, you know, treat yourself to Starbucks every day instead.
Exactly. Like that's oh, so, so again, that was kind of our goal for all of this, was to show everybody what it is that we can do, how we are bringing value to the table, and how Yelp is a relevant player. Just because they don't tout what they do, and just because they focus on consumers first, and they don't give as much love as business owners say that they should, that's why they've gone the direction they have, to work with agencies, to work with people that really know how to structure this. And so again, one last little point, Jessica, you and I finally met at the end of January. There was a little bit of confusion as to whether or not you were going to be able to go. But there's, roughly about 300 agencies in this program right now, right? Maybe give or take with what's going on with COVID and everything. Some people have, kind of pulled back in what they're doing. But for the most part, in January, after 2 full solid years, because it started in January of 2017, we had about 300 agencies, right?
Yes. And at the partner summit, I believe it was our top 25 partners that we had in attendance there.
And you were there because of, a lot of your clients being part of your agencies, right? Is that the proper way to say that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then of those, we were actually asked by Yelp HQ to film for about 2 hours. And so, Jessica, from the numbers that you saw, how many people were actually asked to be on film? It was,
oh gosh, was
like
it
less
2?
than a handful, right?
2?
3?
No more than 3. Yeah. I mean, I was just mad that they didn't fly me out there to do your hair and makeup before. So I'm still like salty about that. But
right, it's good. Like we're good. They took care of me. They did real good for me.
yeah. No, I know. I think you were my only partner that they filmed. And they might have had 1, maybe 2 more, but no more than that.
Yeah. So, even though we may not take the obvious course of action in order to drive the Tesla Cybertruck already, right? Or to have the yacht or whatever else, the focus for us is genuinely helping people. And you may have heard me say this before, and Jessica 100% agrees. For me, it's about, I could be on my phone, not paying attention, and then boom, I'm gone off the planet. But I would have left knowing that I impacted other humans on the planet, because really at the end of the day, it's all about helping each other go around the sun on Starship Earth and ensuring that we are adding value to people in their world, and from communicating with us, just making the place a little bit better. And mindset is one of the hardest things to change for somebody. And so, from my standpoint, I really appreciate you guys hearing us, not just listening, but like hearing what we're saying. Is that I am not the pinnacle, right? We may be front of the spear, but like, we're not like the end all be all with this. There are other agencies out there that we highly recommend that you search out. Some are geared towards certain industries, right? There was one individual who she predominantly focuses on franchises, and that's her core market. And she is a juggernaut in the franchise industry world. There was even another company, Location 3 from Colorado, another huge company. Scorpion was there. There's so many great companies, and I, again, very humbled, only 2 years in the game, but my insights are proving to be useful. So, Jessica, what do you got? We're about to be done. I want to make sure we value everyone's time. I think we,
Gosh, that's good.
Just
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And I know that's our favorite part of this is just the relationships, and we love setting people up for success, and we love watching them crush it. And we always have their best interests in mind. And I think they definitely feel that when they work with us. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's a rare thing in this industry. So I hope we can keep it up for as long as we can. So got a good thing going.
Right. Yeah, we do. And I put a lot of work in 19. Jessica was actually very instrumental in getting 6 case studies written about Carrasco Consulting in 2018, and towards the end of it, 2019, we were doubling down and just making sure that our numbers were accurate, that like it wasn't just some like weird fluke thing. And then even people at Yelp were like, what do you know? These aren't right. Like, how are you seeing these numbers? Like, these aren't normal numbers. So, now 2020, we finished up this partner summit, and then we went into February, and then it was just like, we all know where we're at now at the end of April. So today is, April 23rd. And so I'm really excited about finishing 2020 strong with you, Jessica, as well as with all the new partners, or I'm sorry, all of the new clients that we're going to be bringing on board. If you would like to work with us, if you have questions about your Yelp page, if you would like to see how we can truly impact your business to help, formulate you so you're stronger in the decision-making process, you can always set up a Calendly link to speak with me. So now when I reference Jessica, she's not just some mythical creature behind a curtain somewhere. Yeah. She's in Arizona and she's real, and she'll let me know how it is. And we don't really pull punches, and we're about as real as it can be with it. So if it doesn't make sense, we're going to give you tools so you can be successful, so then you can grow and then maybe come back to the table. If you're already paying for Yelp ads through like a self-serve model, please come and talk to us. We can see about how we can restructure you through like a boost promotion, and or if you're spending a certain amount already, there may be some ways to restructure your account, so then that way everything kind of goes into alignment, just like refinancing a home. People pay a lot more, so
more bang for the buck. That's the goal.
More bang for the buck. And finally, if you're considering jumping into Yelp ads, we actually have some boost promotions, like I just mentioned a moment ago, where if you spend a certain amount for, for a good period of time with us, Yelp will actually give us, for you, free advertising up to 6 months. So we have a lot of tools that we can offer you. We have a lot of insight. Again, I've been doing this since 2010 for my own business, so then that way I can be successful. Jessica's been doing this for the last 6 years. And at the same time, if there is something that comes up, it doesn't just like stop with us. We have the opportunity to take stuff up even higher and even higher. And as you've heard in my videos, I'm sending stuff to Yelp product probably monthly going, hey, what's up with this? Hey, what's up with that? Hey, why'd you send this out? Hey, what's wrong with this? Hey, why do I know stuff and why do I figure out stuff before other people? Like, what's going on here? And so there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Remember, Yelp is a global company. They are helping people all over the world. And they're publicly traded, and they've been investigated, and they've come out clean time and time again. So before you just listen to people who are just like, stop it. Tighten your belt, pull those pants up a little bit higher, and let's get to work, because we're ready to help you. So Jessica, anything else?
Couldn't have said it better myself. I second that.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you for your time. We appreciate you watching. Again, this is Ralph Carrasco with Carrasco Consulting and Jessica Carlin with Yelp. And we both hope that you have a wonderful day.
See you later.
Bye now.